I'm Nancy Margaret. I'm Ken's youngest sister. He was the oldest of 5 and the only boy. We were all baby boomers, but Ken was the ultimate baby boomer. He was smart, creative, played the drums, and later grew a ponytail and became a hippie. Towards the end, in his last 2 years of life, Ken grew sweeter and stronger than I ever could have imagined. Ken was 10 when I was born. He was 13 when we moved to Raleigh in 1967. Since I was only 3, I don't remember a whole lot of things before Ken graduated from high school. But I do remember our family trips to Granddad's house twice a year, every summer and every Christmas. Granddad lived in Arlington, Virginia, just sprout run away from D.C. So fun, I loved it. Our family would all load up in the station wagon, 5 kids, cats galore, comic books and snacks. Dad at the wheel, the colonel, brakes in contact, go. It was a long car ride. Richmond was halfway. It was always such a relief when we saw the Richmond Railroad clock tower. We knew we were halfway to Granddad's, or halfway home. I do remember that vividly. Anyway, my brother Ken went to Sanderson High School and was class of 1972. He played snare drum in the Sanderson Marching Band like Aiden Reed. Thank you, Aiden, for playing for us today in memory of Ken. Aiden graduated last year from Broughton with my daughter, Bailey Ann. Both were in the marching band. Aiden was drum captain. Bailey Ann played bass drum. Ken was very proud of Bailey Ann for playing the bass drum. He enjoyed spending time with her with his snare drum on his lap between his knees, teaching her how to hold the drumsticks to do a drum roll and other things too. It's impossible to think of my brother Ken and not think of drums. He drummed his fingers on everything, always playing a beat, tapped his feet incessantly too. He got his 1968 Mod Orange Ludwig drum set in high school. It was actually purple and orange, like psychedelic. He banged on those drums all the time. All the time. He taught his sister Linda Lou, and maybe Beth Ellen too, how to play Wipeout on a drum with their bare hands. Later, when Ken played drums with several different bands around town, I'd request them to play Wipeout. It was always fun to go to the clubs and see my big brother play. In the 1990s, Ken and our father joined the Mount Olive Concert Instrumental Ensemble. Ken was very kind to play in the band with Dad, who learned how to play the trombone in his 70s. Ken loved many different genres of music, but he loved good old rock and roll the most. His idol was Keith Moon, drummer of The Who. He liked the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Yes, and Deep Purple. The Beatles were too overrated for him, although that didn't stop him and Linda Lou from singing and Ken drumming to them all the way, airborne, to Charleston, South Carolina. Our last family trip, spring of 2013. It was the perfect trip. Ken and Linda Lou fished all afternoon off the pier at Folly Beach. It will always be a treasured memory. I cannot think of Ken without thinking about his bugs, his VW Beetles. His first VW Beetle bug was Baby Blue. Eventually he ended up with too many bugs and other various cars. Nothing was too much or banged up for Ken. He didn't want to say goodbye to cars or anything. After suffering from diabetes later in life, Ken began playing guitars. He began playing guitars more. He enjoyed strumming on one of his many pawn shop purchases. His favorite guitar, though, was the perfectly sized and perfectly pitched Taylor Swift Youth acoustic guitar. He originally bought it for the kids, but he decided he liked it a lot and kept it for himself. He was always encouraging us to play an instrument, and he was always willing to teach us. Music fed Ken's soul. When I think of my brother, I definitely think of good old rock and roll music and his orange drums. He liked the color orange. It is as unusual and unique as him. I never realized it, but it's kind of a theme color throughout his life. Ken became a land surveyor working for John Phelps and his wife Jackie. Ken considered them much more than bosses. He considered them dear friends. It was the perfect job for him. Working outside every day, being surrounded by nature. Even better if it was a day spent in the woods or in the swamps. He loved it. They required all of them to wear an orange shirt. Orange. Ken with his orange t-shirt. When I think of Ken, I think of his orange t-shirt and his Confederate hat. Lord, that Confederate hat is going to be buried with him today. I think of his smile and his unique sense of humor. Ken lost a few teeth later in life with diabetes and all, but Ken managed to make that funny. Grinning for pics, wearing his orange t-shirt and his Confederate hat at Halloween, and calling himself a jack-o'-lantern. So funny. Such a character. When I think about Ken, I think about food and what a foodie he was. He loved tasty foods. He liked crispy fried cheese. He liked pizza and Bob's garlic salad, a good steak, a cheesy burger, and he ate everything with tons of pepper on it. He liked Guinness Stout too a lot. He did not drink much, but he did really enjoy a good old Guinness Stout beer on occasion. He would literally hum a tune out loud as he chewed his tasty foods, tapping his finger on the table and grinning. He was a good cook too, but Ken thought most highly of bakers, saying any idiot can follow a recipe. But baking takes a lot of talent and skill. I'm really going to miss his oatmeal raisin cookies. It's my favorite kind of cookie, and he was great at baking them. When I think of my brother, I think of what a talker he was. This became apparent to me most after our mother died in 2009. Mom's over there. Mom was his best friend for sure. But Ken would call on the phone and just start talking and talking and talking and talking. I never had that much time to listen to all that talking. None of us did. I felt badly about it then, and I feel badly about it now. It's sad, but it's true. One true companion Ken had after Mom and Dad passed away was his kitty cat, Abby. A gray and gold tabby girl with black stripes that LJ got him. Ken loved Abby. He called her Abby Gooby Icky Poo. And I keep on saying Abby Gabby, but no, Ken, it was Abby Gooby Icky Poo. Not that she was icky at all, because she wasn't, and she still is not. But Ken liked the sound of it, so that's what he called her. He would tell us long stories about Abby's. He made up a song about Abby, but only a few of us can perform it to Ken's perfection. I never got it right, so I won't perform it now. Naturally, I looked for a stuffed kitty cat that looked like Abby for Ken to have in the hospital. All I could find was this orange one. Ken's cat in a hat with this orange urn. It's kind of perfect for Ken. It's really unbelievable that I'm standing here today on this perfectly beautiful fall day. All the leaves turning gold and red and orange. Bailey Ann home from college for this weekend, thanks to her Uncle Ken. So now she can early vote. Not that I'm referring to anything orange here in particular when I say that. I'm just saying Ken felt very strongly about voting, so go vote. Ken, who loved to talk and talk and talk and eat and eat and eat, and loved spending time with all the family. His mother and all of his sisters. He ended up isolated in hospitals with a trach, dependent on a ventilator, slowly unable to enjoy his tasty foods, unable to talk, depending upon strangers for his next breath. How cruel. But Ken found many angels along the way, a few devils too, just one, definitely two, but mostly angels. Particularly at VCU Medical Center in Richmond. He loved his respiratory therapist, especially Benita. He loved all the nurses taking care of him, especially Ryan. He managed to win over many of their hearts. They didn't mind when he drummed on the bed railing with his finger when he needed help. He also played on his belly like a drum up to his last week. I even had a few doctors tell me how much they enjoyed taking care of my brother. It's like the best of Ken could be seen more clearly without all the stuff, the clutter, without all the noise, the chatter. Just Ken in his hospital bed. From where he would ask us to pray with him every visit, putting his hands in prayer and closing his eyes. A strength unbeknownst to him and unbeknownst to us took hold. The Richmond Railroad clock tower within view. He was halfway home, just waiting for the perfect time, with his 3 sisters and my husband by his side. Our brother grew wings and flew home to his perfect Heavenly Father. Rock on, brother, fly high.